William Hutchison, along with my wife, I own the two real estate companies that you see in the thumbnail. It occurred to me yesterday that the three main things that you need coming to Colombia, we have pretty much covered off. Three things that cause a lot of stress and aggravation for people. I'll qualify my remarks by saying you can do it yourself. There's no question about that, especially if you have a fluent Spanish speaker. But I think it would be much easier to handle and apply for the things that you need here, especially with an English speaking attorney that we have. We have it all under one roof. In these cases that I'm going to talk to you about, Alba and I just provide a supporting role. We help out the clients here, but answer any questions that the visa, health insurance, real estate attorney that's on our team have, and get clarification to make things a lot easier. These three things in Colombia can be very stressful. And I have had cases where the client has a straightforward visa application, for example, but they worry night and day until they actually get it. That's understandable. I don't have any issues with that because in most cases they've come to believe that things here are fairly inconsistent, and some decisions that are made are not really have no reason for them to be made the way that they are. But anyway, let's get started. I don't answer any questions really right now on the visa and health areas. I refer them to the attorney because I don't know. And so many things have changed. For example, on the visa application, there's a blood test, fairly straightforward, and the doctor needs to fill out a medical certificate. We have that covered off here. Alba takes people to the lab for the blood test, and the doctor comes here to fill out the medical certificate. Both of them are not very detailed. The blood is blood type and 2 or 3 communicable diseases, and the doctor comes here, he does height and weight, certifies that the blood is okay, and also certifies that the person's mental health appears to be fine. There's a couple of I guess variables. Some say the blood test has to be sent in, others no. One tip that I will give you, because I did a video on it, is if you're in America and you're starting to get things together, that's our advice as well as the lawyer. For example, the criminal background check, you get that and any other documents that your visa application needs while you're in America. It's just that much easier. But don't take any photos there either, because the Colombian immigration people will not accept photos taken from outside the country. When you, if you get a hold of Maria, I have the contacts that I would give you, there will be a consultation fee. And usually that call lasts maybe half an hour. There is a charge for that. But if you continue with the visa process with her, then the consultation fee is rebated as part of her normal visa, her normal fee for a visa. The one thing I've learned in my life is relationships are really beneficial. And if you do all of these things through Maria, you've actually built a relationship with her that can be beneficial financially, You become familiar with her, she becomes familiar with you. It's a great process to go through, I believe. Um, Now, the two big things, of course, are visa and your insurance. We help with those. Maria looks after those two things. The other thing that might become stressful for you is accommodation. Real estate here is a mess. I mean, you just have to take my word for it. I don't really like the way a lot of the things are done because they're not what I'm used to coming from North America. So on the rental side, there's not too much of an issue. It's pretty straightforward, especially if you're renting for 3 months and you just pay it up front. A lot of renters, owners don't even want a contract. You just pay the 3 months, get a receipt. So it's a pretty straightforward deal. Even up to 6 months, if you paid the whole six up front, which in most cases I advise clients to do because they're really big here on cosigners and you wouldn't have one. So then you have to get into applying for rental payment insurance and those kinds of things. It just becomes very aggravating. It's just a lot easier to pay it up front. You're going to have to pay it anyway. So why not just pay the 3 or 6 months? On the sales side, it's a completely different story. I use Maria. She draws all the documents so that there's no funny business in the fine print. And the documents are drawn to protect you and also the seller. If you get into a buy here because you know Armenia, and many of you know that we recommend that you rent first before you make that's kind of a financial commitment, then the process starts with a title search before a lot of money is spent for lawyers. That's the absolute first thing that's done. The title search looks at whether there's any mortgages on the property, whether there's any liens, whether there's anyone that might, through the courts, have some kind of a claim against the property, perhaps a family member. And once that's cleared, then the transaction can proceed. There's things here that go on. You might look at a property and it's 10 acres. Then when you go to close, you find out that it's only the 1 acre on the front corner. There's multiple offers on the same property. There's people offering property for sale that they don't own. So those are all of the things and more that Maria would prepare you for. So those three things under one roof with our support, I think is a real advantage for you. Maria, for example, has years of work with Congress in Bogota, and that helps in some situations. If there's a snag, she knows who to call and how to speak to them. It's a real big advantage. I believe that. That's it for today. I live in paradise, and you can too.